I'm starting to get concerned. What about the Leafs? No, you! Why? I watched the end of your little stream. Oh. Let's go! It starts with an A and ends with anxiety. Off the charts levels of passion! This is a nightmare! With you wherever you are, welcome to LFR. You had to watch the stream that I did for this game on the SDPN YouTube channel to understand that joke off the top. It got weird on account of no one wants to talk about this team, this alleged team. Leafs lose 5-2 to the Tampa Bay Lightning on Hockey Night in Canada in Toronto. Hey, we're going to talk about that game. We're going to talk about that fun old game, that awesome game. But first, looking to dominate off the ice as much as the blue and white team dominated on the ice tonight? You see? That was clever, right? Then check out the Toyota Tacoma. Its standard I-Force engine boasts an impressive towing capacity of up to 6,400 pounds. In fact, it's the most powerful Tacoma ever. So whether you're hauling gear to the rink or heading to an away game, you can tackle it with ease. When it's time to load up, the available power liftgate makes loading your gear in and out a cinch. Experience power, capability, and convenience with the Toyota Tacoma. Visit shoptoyota.ca or visit your local Ontario Toyota dealer during Red Tag Days, March through May. Now, let's talk about that game. How are there this many games left? Leafs lose 5-2. It was really 5-1. Nick Robertson scored with like 30 seconds to go, and he deserved it. How do you have a legitimately good-looking hockey game? Like, he had a legitimately good hockey game where his team was losing 5-1 through 59 and a half minutes. He was noticeable every time he was on the ice, constantly winning puck battles along the boards and stuff. You know, it's funny. A lot of people are like, they're not really this bad, are they? And here's the trick. No one's really this bad. No one. None of the 32 teams in the NHL, including the Leafs, are this bad. I'm not talking about overall on the season. I know the Leafs aren't in last place. I can read. But no one is this bad as the Leafs currently are, without some level of just giving up. Now, I don't know why they gave up, because let's remember something. Part of the reason why the Leafs weren't able to sell at the trade deadline like a team that knew what they were doing is because management legitimately seemed to think, coming out of the Olympic break, where they won 3 games heading into the Olympic break. Remember that. 3 games in a row against Vancouver, Calgary, and Edmonton. Unpredictable. If management genuinely believes that they could have made the playoffs coming out of the Olympic break, no one told the players. The Leafs lost their first 3 games out of the Olympic break, 1-2-3, all in regulation by a combined score of 14-5. That's not losing, that's losing! They managed to lose to Philly and New Jersey by only 1 goal, so, you know, they gained a point in those games too. Those were useful, huh? Now you're getting outscored 21-10. You lose 6-2 to the Rangers at home for the first regulation win the Rangers have had in Madison Square Garden since November. Now you're getting outscored 27-12. Anyway, you get your butts kicked by Tampa at home, 5-2, booed off the ice over this losing streak, which is now 7 consecutive games coming out of the Olympic break. The Leafs have been outscored by their opponents 32-14. That is a goal differential of -18 in 7 games. Which, if my math is right, if you played at this pace over a full 82 game season, you would be -212. Which recently, my recent run of luck, maybe my math isn't right. The worst goal differential in the entire NHL is currently the Vancouver Canucks, who are last place in the NHL. They are -71. The Vancouver Canucks are in last place in the NHL by 9 points this season. And the Leafs, over the 7-game losing streak, have been 3 times as bad! So yes, coaching is a problem, and we're going to talk about that. Yeah, they sold. Yeah, it's not that great of a roster, but none of this happens, not to this degree, without straight up giving up. God bless people who keep time capsules like this. From Kevin Papetti, this was Toronto's lineup the last time they lost 7 in a row. JVR, Bozak, Kessel. That first line still gives me nightmares. Loophole, Greg McKegg, and David Booth. Richard Panik, Leo Komarov at center, and Brandon Kozin, Joachim Lidstrom, Sam Carrick, who's still in the league, bless him, and Casey Bailey. The D-core was Eric Brewer, who the Leafs gave a silver stick to when he played his 1,000th game in like his third game as a Leaf. Hilarious. With Dion Phaneuf, Jake Gardiner and Morgan Riley, LOL, Andrew McWilliam and Tim Erickson. If you're not of a certain age, I could understand if you thought I made those last two people up. Oh, and the goalies were Jonathan Bernier and James Reimer. James Reimer also still in the league, bless him. You know what's crazy? JVR, Sam Carrick, Morgan Riley, and James Reimer. There's still 4 players in the league from that? That lineup is hopeless. And ironically, that lineup also had a winger playing center for some reason as their 3C. Like, I know we should talk about the game, like the actual game itself. After all, this is Leafs fan reaction, and I do it after every single game. But they've lost 7 straight games. You know what? While we're at it, can I highlight something else that annoyed me? After the game, John Cooper on the Maple Leafs falling out of the playoff race. This is probably going to be a one-off for them because they've got a good group. Remember when Brad Marchand said like the exact same thing in like November? Oh, Toronto media don't know what they're talking about. We watched the games, Bradley! And that weird, really weird crusade that the Florida Panthers went on after eliminating the Leafs, where instead of focusing on the third round, they just focused on defending the Leafs who they just beat. Oh, they're a good team. They're a good team. Not one of them said, you know what, if Stolarz was in net, we might have lost. That would have been great. And there's no justice in the world, so they win the cup anyway. But it's the same principle. Cooper just did it with a little bit more class and charm. The Panthers, the Lightning, every team in the Atlantic Division genuinely benefits from the Leafs keeping the band together because they stink. Even if it's not as insidious as that, since when do NHL players or coaches just go around going, man, that team we beat tonight stinks. They are bad at hockey. That doesn't happen. Like, I asked for LFR questions online, and like I got this from Hogdale. It just says, man, they stink. That's the overarching sentiment. Yeah. So here, let's go to the Leafs website so I can click on the box score and talk about this game. All right, there it is up in the top corner. And oh, wait a second. It says game day versus Flyers, March 2nd, 2026. Today's not March 2nd. The Leafs didn't just play the Flyers. Let's click it and see what it says. Oh, good. Oh, good. It's a game day preview for a Leafs game that happened like a week ago, and the picture on the game is Scott Laughton, who is no longer a Leaf because you traded him for a 3rd-round pick. If anyone can list a redeemable thing about this Leaf season, I'm all ears. That's the website on mobile. I'm telling you. Go look for yourself. Okay. Less than 5 minutes into the game, William Nylander and Matthias Michelli. They make beautiful music together. They've been quite the pair, offensively, for the Leafs. And the Leafs, like they've done a bunch of times recently, open the scoring in the game, and they open it early. Third verse, same as the first. They had the lead, and then they didn't have the lead. And unfortunately, that's it. That's it. They didn't do it 2 or 3 times like they did in the other games. They just straight up stunk. Like, dude, post-Olympic break, if you're not a very good team, you're already in trouble. This is it, though. Post-trade deadline, if you are a bottom feeder, and make no mistake, that's what the Leafs are right now, and you're playing against a team that is in the playoff hunt, in the win the division hunt, they're going to just stomp you. And that is exactly what happened in this game. Less than a minute after the Leafs opened the scoring, the Tampa Bay Lightning looked to the left, looked to the right, and they went, all right, let's stop playing around. And the rest of the game genuinely looked like a practice where the Lightning were the team practicing and the Leafs were all the mannequins. Ryan McDonough puts it cross crease. It goes off Jake McCabe's skate and in. Nothing Stolarz can do there. And 7 minutes later, Jake Gensel gets lost. Jacob Quillen is the guy chasing him, and so he doesn't get very much ice time after that. He got benched for a little while. Berube would eventually go, all right, kid, all right, get out there, and he had him kill penalties and stuff, which is good. That's what he should be doing for the rest of the season. But I personally liked this observation from Justin Bourne. The line of Lorentz, Quillen, and Yarncroke played with Benoit and Stetcher seems to have been outplayed by Gensel, Point, Kucherov with Hedman, Chernak on that second goal. Like, you could just be like, oh, see, the Lightning have way more talent than the Leafs. That's why. Like, that's why the Leafs got blown away. No, dude, Berube got out-coached. You're on home ice and it's a tied game. You're on home ice. You get last change. The Lightning send out Gensel, Point, Kucherov, Hedman, Cernak. Those are all Olympic quality players. And you match that with 5 players you have elected to healthy scratch at different times this season. You personally. You got to make the decision with the marker, and you did that. And you're on popcorn duty tonight, and you're on popcorn duty tonight, and you're on popcorn. Oh, really? Oh, really? The rookie you called up from the Toronto Marlies, just give him a shot, didn't do so good against Jake Gensel. Jacob Gensel. And listen, I know this is going to be part of it. Like, dude, at some point, you're going to have to throw players out there in sink or swim situations. And some point, John Cooper is going to stuff you into a locker. Because he, like, has the respect of his players. And you, like, violently don't. And from that point on, the game's over. Like, it's over. Like, a minute later, Brandon Hagel has the puck. Oh, man, that guy's wide open. Oh, he buries it. That's Corey friggin' Perry. That's Corey Perry. Oh, my God. I was sad when Corey Perry went for legitimately more at the trade deadline than Scott Laughton did. I was more sad when I realized Corey Perry's first game back with the Lightning is in Toronto. Oh, no, thank you, no. Bjorkstrand scores on a nearly identical goal, except it was on the power play, and it's 4-1 after one. You're dead. It's over. And to add to the calamity of that first period, Nick Robertson, on a breakaway, gets a penalty shot. He gets hauled down by Darren Radish. The ref points to center ice. Arm up, points to center ice. And then they talk about it and they go, no. You took away a penalty shot from a home crowd that has been dead silent all night. Literally the loudest they were all night was when Nick Robertson got hauled down and the ref pointed to center ice for a penalty shot. Because this fan base, so desperate, so beaten down by what this team is at the core of its soul, got out of their chairs and had a smile on their face and got excited for the first and maybe only time that night, and you took it away from them. You forced them all to watch the Leafs power play in 2026, the big 2026. How dare you? And then the ref gets on the microphone and is like, yeah, no, it's a 2-minute minor because he touched the puck first before he hauled him down. Don't explain the rule to us. You're the one who pointed to center ice. Explain the rule to you. Then nothing happens for the rest of the game. Domi got into kind of a weird fight. Nothing happened. Here's how aggressively nothing happened. With, how much time was it? Like 4+ minutes to go in the third period. When Anthony Stolarz left the net, I thought the Leafs were about to get a power play. Because to me, that was the only reason you would pull the goalie in that moment. No, they pulled the goalie to like earnestly try to score. And it took the Lightning like less than 10 seconds to get in the empty netter on Toronto. 31 seconds to go in the game, Robertson gets a goal because he genuinely deserved it. How do you look good in a game like that? He legitimately did. Beyond that, the Leafs were either not trying, outmatched, or utterly cursed. That Cowan pass to Matthew Nyes was absolutely beautiful. Nyes got robbed, and his reaction was all of us. Austin Matthews, yawning cage, hasn't scored in eons. How doesn't it go in? Now, let me just text something because I don't know off the top of my head. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh my gosh, April's a month. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. There's still 18 games left. There's still 18 games left. There are still 18 games left. There are still 18 games left. There's still 18 games left. There's still 18 games left. There's still 1,080 minutes of Leafs hockey left this season, and that's if none of the games go to overtime. What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean there's nearly 2 calendar days of Leafs hockey left? What? And that's not including commercial breaks and intermissions. And all the time between whistles. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Questions. From producer Drew, what's your favorite pasta? All right. No. You had to watch the stream or you don't. I'll never look at Vaporeon the same ever again. Thanks for that. I enjoyed that Pokemon. I used to like using them all the time. They could learn Surf and Ice Beam. So great. I can't watch and enjoy my hockey team. I can't watch and enjoy and battle with one of my favorite Pokemon. Not that I play much Pokemon anymore nowadays. But oh my gosh. I'm gonna leave on a good note. I'm gonna give you guys something good to end this video with. The next Leafs game isn't until Tuesday. Oh, that's so good. Oh, good. I'm glad. Good. Scott Laughton scored in his Kings debut. I wrecked it. Are you on the East Coast? Are you anywhere near Truro, Nova Scotia? Well, I'm going to be there on March 18th. That's coming up real soon at Truro Library from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. March 18th. I'm going to be there with Tyler Hellard, and he's the author of Searching for Terry Punch-Out, the book that I'm going to be championing on CBC's Canada Reads. Myself and Terry, we're going to talk about how goalies are drummers and drummers are goalies, and we're going to talk about this book and all kinds of stuff, and we would like you to come. If you want tickets, hey, link in the description down below, and I'll see you there. I really want to see you there. We can talk about this awful team together. My friends, for now, that is it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you liked this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell your friends. Leave Vaporeon alone. If you don't get that, good. What a blessed life.